at Microsoft, and he's just their like eyes are big, like oh Bill Gates, but it's not that he's not that smart. If you ask him a question, if I bring Bill Gates right now and ask him questions about the soul, the afterlife, death, whether people react together, morality, the purpose of existence, he's not going to give me the answers that you gave me. He's just going to sit. He's going to give me stupid answers, non-intelligent answers, because his mind was just focused on making a Microsoft program. That's just that's simple. Those are just simple-minded people. It's not a big picture. Big geniuses think about big pictures. So let me give you an example here. If you type in "geniuses on" DOHT.info.
यार हमारी हम तो हजम नहीं कर पा रहे हैं इन्होंने हमको वैसे वाला जीनियस सुना दिया भाई
वैसे में बोल रहे हैं कि जो है वो बिल गेट्स ने जो चीज अभी मतलब बिल गेट्स जिस वजह से मशहूर है ना वो सिर्फ एक शॉर्ट टर्म वो है मतलब उसने सिर्फ एक चीज बनाई है जो अभी के जमाने में मशहूर हुई है अब अगर आगे जो 1000 years मतलब आफ्टर अगर हम देखें ना तो ये चीज जो उसने बनाई है वो बहुत छोटी है और मतलब जो आप सोच रहे हैं ना वो 1000 years आफ्टर की चीज है तो इस वजह से उन्होंने रैंक किया
छोड़ो यार
Sir, I want that link of those geniuses where you can get
type in your phone
the link you opened up.
hold on one second.
Okay.
You should be able to find one second.
So far I was only believing you, but I have not trusted you.
You what?
Trust.
Trust? What is there to trust?
I fail to understand how you get how should I trust you?
There's my passport right there.
Actually, he can't believe that he can be compared with someone who is on the another level, like Bill Gates.
He's just insecure. He doesn't. He's being modest. He doesn't have anybody to interact with here. He
Yeah.
just talks to you and his nephews and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
He doesn't.
yeah, yeah.
He's in a small world.
Yeah, sure.
Me, I'm in a big world picture of things.
So you are here to introduce to the world.
Yeah.
Strange.
Okay. Geniuses on. You see all the work I've done on geniuses? These are all hundreds and hundreds of pages. I've ranked all the greatest chemists, greatest engineers, greatest mathematicians, greatest authors, greatest philosophers, top 100 physicists, the cattle, all these things have all been ranked for me. So when I say that your IQ is below or above Bill Gates, then I'm not just picking cherries out of a tree. Let me just find this page. This has to be here. Genus is on. Okay, I know. I should find it.
Hello.
Ah, there you are.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
You're welcome. Well, do you feel better today?
Yes, a little, but yeah, better, alhamdulillah.
So we're.
So, you enjoyed your time last night?
We didn't get to the camels.
Why?
They weren't at the beach.
They
They said they took them away because there was waste from the hospital that spilled on the beach, and they were cleaning it for 3 days. So they moved the horses and the camels. I don't know.
Well, we'll arrange it for you next time you come. We'll sponsor you and we'll specifically arrange something for you to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems to me, Libb,
Yeah.
you are likely to keep coming to Pakistan.
It could be.
Yeah.
ये कुछ अजीब सी चीजें कह गया है यहाँ पर।
क्या कह रहे हैं?
अभी आप नहीं आए थे।
जी।
देखो ये
क्या कह रहे हैं?
देखो क्या कह रहा है ये लड़का।
इन्होंने जो है
इससे
वो
समझा मैं तो ज्यादातर
लिस्ट ऑफ जीनियसेस बनाई है
हाँ।
जो मतलब अभी प्रेजेंटली अलाइव है
हाँ।
इन द वर्ल्ड।
उसमें एक चचा है
तो नाना
नो वंडर। हाँ तो सही
नहीं, नानापू रैंकिंग नंबर 10th पे आते हैं
सही है।
और बिल गेट्स
बिल गेट के साथ लगा दिया
बिल
भाई।
गेट 9th पे है तो ये 10th पे है, तो इन्होंने बहुत लॉजिकल बात की।
Okay, here, take it, we'll get you.
Why does it strike you as an odd thing? Why? I personally believe that's the case. I personally believe. The problem is
I don't believe it.
no.
Okay, here's the list he's
You are
talking about.
humble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the list here. This is ranking of geniuses existent. And this is ranking of people who are walking on the planet, who are compared to the top 1,000 geniuses of history. So these are all people who don't exist anymore.
Mhm.
This is a ranking of people who do exist. So Christopher Harada, he was ranked with an IQ of 225 when he was 16. And he published the physics of relationship, the same theory that you published. We already looked at that. And he at age 13, he set the world record for youngest person ever to set the highest score on the physics Olympiad. And he went on to graduate from Princeton at 19. Now he's working on dark energy theory, accelerated universe problem at University of Ohio. So Steven Weinberg, he invented he won a Nobel Prize for the unification of electromagnetism and weak nuclear forces. Before he came, we already compared Mirza's theory that the universe is the future is full of points, versus his theory that he is a non-believer in God, that the universe is pointless. We compared that. And then we have Elon Musk, Tesla. These are all ranks as IQs of other people, but
That's my guy.
his real IQ is right now, because when people calculate these, they get Google eyes and they say, oh, he's so smart. But compared to the top 1,000 geniuses here, if you look at, right, it says 500 here now, but now it's up to 1,000. When you actually take somebody like Elon Musk and you try to fit him in the top 1,000 geniuses, you start to slow down, get a little sober perspective of what's going on here. So then we get down here, Peter Higgs. Everybody thinks he's great because he predicted the Higgs boson, and he discovered that. Jürgen Mimkes, he's the one who developed
Your SN1.
the PhD department, and you produce PhD students in physico-chemical socioeconomics, just like you've done.
I saw that SN list of yours. Social Newton list.
Yeah.
He was number 1.
So that Edward Witten, everybody thinks he's a genius because he developed string theory. Terence Tao has been cited with he's a mathematical genius, but people think he's real smart, but in reality, compared to real mathematicians like Euler and Gauss and Pascal, he's not that smart. And then we've got Bill Gates and Mirza, number 10 and number 9. But then this guy right here, I was trying to explain to Mirza, he's going to be at the conference next year. His name's Luis Arrow. He's representing Puerto Rico. And he graduated from high school at age 11. He was a child prodigy. And then at age 20, he completed his master's degree in physics with a thesis on a thermal model of economy. And he was ranked at age 16 with an IQ of 200.
So how do you come up with this IQ?
No, this was calculated by somebody else. There's a way to calculate if you're young, if you're less than 18, and you have a mind that's, let's say you're 10 years old, and you have a mind of a 20-year-old, you can rate and you score perfectly on a test. You can use a formula ratio that show that you have an IQ of 200. So it's kind of like a guesstimate, but it's not really exact. So then when you take this, it's called a ratio IQ. And when you take the ratio IQ, and now he's an adult, we don't really think that because if you compare his PhD thesis with Mirza's book, you see that this is just almost childlike, what his idea is. But at least you see that he thinks that he's a child prodigy, he comes into the world, and he believes in God, by the way. He believes in he's a Jehovah's Witness.
Jehovah's.
Yeah, Jehovah's Witness. So, but he believes in God, but he's also a child prodigy, so his mind accelerated very fast, and he came to the idea that you can view the world according to thermodynamics like Mirza did. That's why when I calculate your IQ 175, you both have the same theory. You're both, these aren't just random. I don't just pick this number at random. So what I was trying to say, Mirza says, why do you put me above Bill Gates? And I said, well, what he did is that's just a little, like a trivial invention. It's like somebody invented
I'm
camera
really
or
sad.
something.
I'm really sad that you weren't able to accommodate Steve Jobs here.
Huh?
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs is ranked.
Where is he?
नहीं वो alive
Steve
नहीं
Jobs
है.
isn't here.
Okay.
These are people who still exist.
All right.
So the-
my bad. All
So
right.
let me just show Mirza. This is called Genius is On. Now this is where Bill Gates, if I ask Bill Gates any of these are what the big geniuses, the questions they ask. The big questions. So you're going to want to know about soul, religion, love, free will, purpose, good and evil. And these are all, if you're a big genius, you're going to have an answer to all these questions.
Uh-huh.
And for example, and the bigger the genius that you are, the more you're going to be tackling all these problems. So you'll see, for example, Aristotle, Goethe's going to have all of these pretty much answered. Goethe on the soul, Goethe on religion, Goethe on love, Goethe on free will. Then there's this other one down here.
So what you're trying to say is
So here, these are the other questions.
Mirza has already answered.
So the point I was saying, if I put Bill Gates down here right now, and I ask him about any of these things, where does morality, how do you explain morality in terms of the equations of the universe? He'll just say, oh, I don't know. But if you ask him, so we've talked about the origin of life. I'm just telling you the truth. Most people are stupid. They think Bill Gates is very smart. Of course, he's smart secularly. He knows how to be a practical person, do something that's going to make change right now. But these aren't big questions. So you're going to want to know about, ask about your opinion about God, about morality, life, chance, afterlife. And so these are the big 10 questions. And when you look at all the big geniuses, so Mirza can give me answers on all these questions. He might not be right, but at least he can open his mouth and speak. And that's the difference between him and Bill Gates.
So have you met with Bill Gates or?
No, I met with some of the people on his last list. I think I emailed Bill Gates because he runs a funding. He has so much money that him and his wife have a charity organization where they give money to. So I think I sent him an email saying I want to start this. Me and my other associates want to start a department of Physico-Chemical Sociology. We'll name the chair after you if you want to call it the Gates Chair of Physico-Chemical Sociology. But I never got an answer back because they probably get so many emails every year that I'll just get lost in the trash box or something of the email. But the people who are important, like Mirza, we connect, we know. So for example, anyways, right now we're doing.
So where are you right now?
So we're doing three things at the end of the day. We're looking at Mirza's citations. So how we got to this page, all I'm doing is typing in Mirza Big, EOHT info right here at the top. And we're looking at the pages. He's cited 170 pages on the internet. So he's getting influence right now on the internet. He's affecting people's minds. So now we're just going through this list. We went through pointfulness versus pointlessness models. We touched on Mirza's views on the soul. We couldn't really figure out an answer to this one. We never got. He said it's the
Which one?
the soul. I tried to say where does the soul come when the man reacts with the woman, but we spent about 20 minutes trying to figure out where it comes from, and we didn't get a resolution on this. But you can watch the video when we come back, because we don't have a lot of time today. But now we're up to, we talked about the revolution, Goethean revolution, or the Biggian revolution, or the Thimsian revolution. So I say it's going to happen in 1,000 years, and Mirza thinks it's going to happen in 20 years. So somewhere in between, maybe the revolution will happen. We already talked about social Newton term analysis yesterday, where you rank terms by, you look through the book and you rank how many times the book says work, energy, force, power. We did that. You missed out on the flower stealing model. Is that, and what happens? He liked to, when you steal a flower, ask him about it. He's from a shop when you're a little child. He stole many flowers, this guy. he probably stole a flower on the way over here.
What's it all about? The flower staying model?
No, he said that what's the difference when a child picks up the flower from a garden, from a random garden, and what's the difference between a child who picks the flower from a flower shop?
In terms of right and morality, right and
what's-
wrong, in terms of physics and chemistry.
How did the child know that it's bad for picking up the flower from the shop without giving any money? So what's bad, and how that child knows?
The morality issue.
Yes.
We explained it in terms of Gibbs free energy. Endergonic is energy going inward to the system, which means that the system gets cold and it's absorbing energy from the universe, versus exergonic, which means the Gibbs free energy is going out of the system,
Yeah.
and you're doing it's energy releasing reaction. So it's kind of like when you form good marriage, you form good family, you make energy, and energy goes outward to the society, versus a thief or a terrorist who steals, and everything gets cold in the society, and that's it. Those two are mixed together though in the universe.
जब गुनाह कर रहे हैं तो जो सेंस में बोले गुनाह कर रहे
यार
हैं तो
थोड़ी चाय पिलाओ यार।
गिब्स एनर्जी जो है वो इनवर्ड आ रही है।
मतलब वो आपको
क्यों भाई चाय पियोगे?
पी लेंगे चाचा?
यार चाय पिलवाओ।
You think I can have another
ऐसे काम नहीं
Pepsi?
चलेगा। सारा काम भी लोगे और
So today we're going to look at a couple more of these, and then we're going to look at the big Thims dialogue from 2014, and then we're going to look at his new article and his new paper here. Talk about.
So one thing you may not have known, or you may have noted, very slow.
Yeah. Slow?
So yeah.
Slow is the trait of geniuses. People who think fast, they don't slow down to actually slow down to absorb the deeper meaning of the question, deeper peculiarities.
And you have come at a time when I have slowed down considerably.
You're surprised me with how sharp your mind is. You're almost 90 years old, and you're still pinging the answers back pretty fast. I bet if I would have come when you were, how old were you in 1987? You were, when you published your book, how old were you?
Yeah, 50,
50 something?
59. 1987 it should be 50, 57, 57, 55.
Okay. 55.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I retired in 92, and you're talking about 87, so 5 years earlier.
Yeah, so I bet
That
so.
was 55.
So if I would have come back in 1987 and had the talk, you would have been. I would have been. Whoa!
I was writing like you're calling me names, yes. I remember you.
Yes, sir.
It's a very peculiar thing.
It's getting
People don't actually
slowing down,
get
slowing
into,
down.
you know,
We do the best we can.
I don't know.
I think we've had good dialogue, and it's going to be very useful for everybody.
I also think that you have a very good.
I don't.
From your perspective and from Mirza's perspective, both.
Yeah.
You had a very good dialogue.
Unless these
I'm a
people
witness.
take over, it's all going into the
No,
brains.
we are going to actually do something about the succession.
You got the email I sent you about
I
the link?
think
Oh yeah, so you can send to me, and then when you publish, I can upload it to my server, and then the link will be publicly free for everybody.
This time around, what we are planning to do, I have had discussions with my friends, and
ये क्या है भाई?
you know, I'm treating like
चाय
him like
मांगी तुम्हारे जो
ये national
वो
asset.
दे रहे हो तुम्हारे
Hey,
यार.
we picked the title for the talk out. He's picked it's going to be Physico-Chemical Sociology of Terrorism.
of
It's going to
terrorism.
be like 20 to 30 minutes, and you're going to have we've got the title. We just need the abstract by in the next 4 months.
Okay.
One paragraph abstract of what the talk's going to be about, and that something like you think terrorism can be controlled or something, or whatever you said before sounded good.
I've given you a few papers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll draw from them.
11 of them.
Okay. Well, let me. So now we're going to talk about here. We've got the. So we're up to genius IQ existed. The Gibbs landscape.
यार ये आदमी मुझे चने के झाड़ पे तो नहीं चढ़ा रहा है.
नहीं. मैं कह रहा हूँ ना, I believe in what he's saying.
तू बिलीव कर रहा हो, मैं तो नहीं बिलीव कर रहा हूँ.
ना करें. Doesn't change the facts.
कैसे हो सकता है यार?
It's on the internet, sir. It's
Yeah,
on the
I mean,
internet. You can see it for yourself. Like, we don't see, Dr. Beg. The problem is
भाई ये एक
that we do
analysis
not have
है
a
ना.
system of recognition in this society. Otherwise, you would have been chairing some departments.
भाई
I don't know.
This is all his analysis, but this is reality.
This is an analysis based on a reality by an intelligent person. Why are you not able to?
The reality is here. I'm nothing.
That's not the case. I don't recognize that.
What are you guys arguing about?
He's saying that I have a doubt that this whatever is being shown to me isn't real. Like it's only Thims analysis.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that this is the reality. You have done this.
Yeah.
He's being humble.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's being too humble to accept that this is the case.
He's been telling to me that he's insecure about what he's done.
Could be, yeah. So
I
that's.
tell you why.
Uh-huh.
There is an exercise going on in Pakistan, National Accountability Bureau. People who have committed some mistake in financial terms,
Mhm.
mostly financial terms, they have been caught.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of them.
Oh, well,
I'm one of them.
you'll be okay.
What happened?
No, listen to the story.
I was not a very likable person in TCS.
Uh-huh.
So they would shift me here from here to here. And they also sent me to the NEPA. They sent me to NEPA, and I was a revolutionary person. I wrote that book.
NEPA is National Institute of Public Administration.
Uh-huh.
This actually originates from there, from the public administration. Yes.
Yeah.
Where we did not have a university department at that time.
Mm-hmm.
It was the National Institute of Public Administration. This institute catered to a lot of government officials in terms of training and development and in terms of public administration knowledge, uplifting. So he was sent to.
I only signed. I was transferred to Lahore as director also at my request. I said, I feel so thirsty getting out of research. I must be in a department. The chairman did not listen to me, so I went to the secretary. The secretary was kind enough and he got me transferred to Lahore. All right. In Lahore, when I reached there, the whole big army was there. Army of Chowkidar, the security people. And they were trying to protect a land. The chairman at that time, he said, this land belongs to us. We are going to file a suit. And that suit, you must see to it that this is not rectified. And that we do establish our claim on this. All right. I was there for about 19 months. The file never came to me. It was roaming around the chairman. Finally, we lost the case. That was in my favor. I did not put that we have lost. The file never came to me. Then there was a compromise decree. And the person who is on the spot, he collaborated with the people in VCSR. And the compromise was in favor of peacemen. So the land was exchanged. But the time when the decree was awarded, I was out. I came back to Lahore, to Karachi. My only fault is that I had signed the initial file for going for litigation.
Okay, well that's a.
And that's my fault, putting down the signature.
Yeah, that's.
Now they say you are a collaborator.
It sounds like a big.
time.
Sounds like a big story, but
No,
the good thing is that we have the book. The book has
Yeah.
been made.
No, and absolutely. The thing is, Dr. Beg, the problem is that this keeps happening to everyone in Pakistan. Pakistan's legal system is already compromised, you understand that. And then again, if I had listened to my education system, I wouldn't be sitting here, founding an organization which works on talent development. If I would have listened to the education system, from the education system point of view, I am a failure. And from the point of view of the people who say about me that I am a good teacher and I am a good communicator, I am a successful person, so whom are you going to listen to?
Having heard you,
Let's take to the topic.
having gone through all that mess, I think I am in a mental stable state. Whether I should believe you or should I believe them? So the reality is that I'm on bail.
Okay, well let's talk about this here. This is more important. What we've got here is called the Gibbs landscape, and you're cited in this article. So these here, etymologically.
क्या हो गया भाई?
Etymologically, the origin of these curves here, that we have the Gibbs, these are called Gibbs landscapes now. This is, you've got here, it was in 1931, Henry Uring and Michael Planey and their on simple gas reactions developed the graphical model of the potential energy surface, wherein they used the 1927 London equation to describe the journey of the nuclei from the reactant state to the system to the product state of the system passing through this reaction. So they, and then the potential energy, the graphical idea was evolved in the concept of three-dimensional energy landscapes by, and then the, so let's just take a look, see where these come from here. Potential energy surface is so these exist sociologically. So the potential energy surface is a 2 or 3 dimensional plot of the potential energy on the vertical. Typically the Gibbs free energy, Helmholtz free energy of a chemical reaction as a function of a time extent reaction, either time extent of reaction or a change of nuclei arrangement or a concentration of products. So now we have, let's see, Harold Blum introduced the concept of chemical planation. We looked at that. That's a little bit what we looked at. He wrote that from a point of view that we can explain the change of species over time, or in terms of these chemical planations, where the minimum point is kind of the minimum of the Gibbs free energy, and there is he says this is a non-chance space, a theologically free model of thermodynamic potentials that explains the evolution of species over time. So now you can read this whole article, it's right here. He says we can use the Gibbs free energy as a directive factor in the evolutionary process, which persists through successive generations. And